Welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barito. Let's take a look at the headlines. The National Operations Centre gets a visit from members of the Police Service Commission to address national security enhancers. The World Health Organization celebrates World Health Day with a focus on vector-borne diseases. And the Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Training to get a new home by Christmas 2014. Thank you for joining us. The National Operations Centre is receiving significant interest from many quarters as its technology and manpower is expected to address several shortcomings in the country's defense apparatus.
On Monday. The visit is one that was sanctioned by the Minister of National Security, Senator the Honourable Gary Griffith, and proves that the NOC welcomes the input and advice of the PSC in providing favourable working conditions for its employees and an excellent service to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
This agency, the National Operations Centre, from what we have gathered this morning, is a very sophisticated, high-level operation in terms of technology and the manpower expertise that we have witnessed here this morning. As a Police Service Commission, we are keenly interested, for obvious reasons, about the assistance that this operations center can give to improving the work of the police service on a continuous basis.
Meanwhile, Director of the National Operations Centre, Commander Gary Hira, expressed his pleasure with the tour and presentation delivered to the members of the PSC.
The information received and presented to the professor and his team this morning has been very favourable and has actually established an opportunity for better working conditions and relations with both aspects of the membership and the relations that were established here this morning. We are looking forward actually to having better working relations in this aspect and to work together as we integrate the capabilities of the National Operations Centre to support and to assist in all aspects of coordination, especially with some of the key deliverables identified through the Office of the Police Service Commission.
According to the chairman of the PSC, the NOC will play an important role in dealing with a number of shortcomings that exist in national security. He made reference to the 1990 attempted coup as an example of what could happen when there are loopholes in the nation's security system.
What has been witnessed in July 1990, that is several weaknesses in our security agencies. We believe that this National Operations Centre is strategically poised to heal those breaches at present and in the future. We have been, from what we have heard from the several officials, including the director, we believe that our security services could be vastly improved by this particular center.
The chairman believes the NOC would further assist in improving the response to any crisis and public safety challenges existing across the country through the technology that is currently used at the centre and the spread of that technology across the country. He noted the involvement of all the protective services in a coordinated way as being another significant benefit of the NOC. Both parties have agreed to continue working together in the interest of the members of the protective services and the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Nikolai Edwards, News 4.
Representatives of the private security industry have highlighted some of the administrative and operational challenges being experienced within the industry. They did so during a meeting with the Honourable Senator Gary Griffith, Minister of National Security, when they met for a cordial exchange.
The very cordial exchange between Senator the Honourable Gary Griffith, Minister of National Security, and representatives of the private security industry took place at the head office of the Ministry of National Security on Abercrombie Street, Port of Spain. During the exchange, representatives discussed a number of issues, including the waiting time for the implementation of the approval of precepts for supplemental police officers in the private security industry. the approval of firearms users' employee certificates for supplemental police officers in the private security industry, the approval for the purchase of armored vehicles, firearms and ammunition, and related security equipment, and the transfer of precepts and firearms users' employee certificates between private security companies. The representatives also told the minister that they were concerned with the time it took for the return of firearms and ammunition to private security companies, which were seized by the police for investigation. During these discussions, Minister Griffith identified several possible avenues to resolve these challenges and committed to the further exploration of better mechanisms to foster collaboration between private security industry and the Ministry of National Security. The Honourable Minister also commended the industry for the significant role it has continued to play in crime reduction. Minister Griffith said he was committed to meeting with the body on a regular basis in an effort to strengthen existing partnerships. Attending the meeting were the Director of the Office of Law Enforcement Policy, Mr. Keith Renard, the Deputy Director of Office of Law Enforcement, Mr. Curtis S. Belfour, and Acting Deputy Commissioner of Police responsible for crime, Mr. Glenn Hackett. Felicia Wilson, More News 4.
And a total of 55 recruits completed the police service training program in Tobago and have joined the crime-fighting efforts after a rigorous recruitment exercise of 320 contact hours of non-residential induction training. Acting Commissioner of Police for Tobago, Brian Headley, congratulated the all-male contingent at the induction ceremony held at the Buku Integrated Facility recently.
The men were placed on a 3-month training that started on the 28th of October 2013 as part of what ACP Headley called Batch 6 of Project 5000 of the Special Reserve Police of Trinidad and Tobago. He encouraged the officers to live the vision laid out by the police service, which includes demonstrating professionalism and being respectful to their peers, colleagues, and the community they interact with.
Be the epitome of what a good police officer should be. That perfect example of excellence. You have been empowered with all that is necessary to secure this division and by extension the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and make your contribution towards the realization of the objectives of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, which is a safer Trinidad and Tobago for all.
The ACP cautioned the SRP officers that the work that lies before them requires their focus and commitment. He added that by completing the training, the officers had already demonstrated that they possess what it takes to achieve the tasks set out before them.
Today we are here to witness and celebrate with 53 all-male officers who would be joining the rank and file of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And it could never have been at a more opportune time, a challenging time for all of us in this global village and technological age where things happen so fast and change happens so rapidly.
The 55 Special Reserve Police officers are about to embark upon duties that include regulating the flow of traffic, issuing fixed penalty notices, charge room duties, educating members of the public, preparing various reports, firearm and use of force training, as well as drill and physical education training. Reporting from Tobago, Natoya Johnson, News 4.
News 4 continues right after the break. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. The Society of Tribologists and Lubrication Engineers held its dinner and awards ceremony in honor of this country's experts in the energy field. Energy and Energy Affairs Minister Kevin Ramnarine, in his presentation at the awards, expressed his gratitude to this group of engineers who play a critical role in maintaining operations in the industry here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Tribology is the study of friction, wear, lubrication, and the designs of bearings, the science of interacting surfaces in relative motion. Here in Trinidad and Tobago, with a wide expanse of manufacturing and the energy sector, the use of this particular field is common. A member of the Society of Tribologists and Lubrication Engineers, STLE, for over 2 decades, This organization lends support to many energy industries in particular. Speaking at the organization's dinner and awards at Cara Suites, Energy Minister Kevin Ramnarine underscored the importance of the field, which provides the support needed to optimize production through strategic maintenance of plants.
The critical elements of asset management required to improve asset reliability and plant availability include a well-managed lubricating strategy, particularly for those people who operate rotating equipment, condition-based management, maintenance of industry standards and practices, a well-defined work management process with measurable key performance indicators, and ongoing reliability audits. The objective of asset management from an economic point of view is to ensure that our plants achieve optimum uptime and therefore maximize production.
Trinidad and Tobago's energy sector undergoes a planned shutdown for the maintenance of its major plants annually. Minister Ramnarine says application of this field lends critical expertise, especially during this time, for protecting vital assets to the national economy.
Managing wear and tear saves money. The VTT Research Center in Finland has estimated that 30 to 50% of all energy in industrialized countries goes to overcome friction. High friction often results in high wear, and a substantial part of all production in industry goes to replacing worn-out products with new ones. In addition, the breakdown of machinery may result in safety and environmental risk. These findings, ladies and gentlemen, have major implications for Trinidad and Tobago and its high level of industrialization, which is led, of course, by our energy sector. Therefore, if we reduce downtime, the downtime of plants in the energy sector, the performance of the industry will improve.
One of the main highlights coming out of this year's conference was the launch of the Tribology Lab at the University of the West Indies. STLE Executive Chairman for Trinidad and Tobago, Koalal Rampasad, expressed hopes of the lab giving local and upcoming engineers the opportunity to do quality research.
I know the lab was way overdue, and we hope that the students will now can do their final year project in some of those projects, and we can now take them along with us to compete at the STLE International Forum, where they can market themselves, showcase themselves to other university students worldwide. I know a couple of years ago we had two of our students went across with Dr. Bridge, and one of our students placed third internationally out of 67 engineering students from 17 universities. And I want to say that STLE International, we are doing a phenomenal job in trying to get young engineering students more heavily involved into tribology and lubrication engineering.
The night celebration saw the honoring of this country's first two female tribologists, who received certification, as well as the National Petroleum Company, a corporate member of the STLE. Bringing greetings from head office, Rob Haverly, international president at STLE, explained the importance of the organization and the benefit of being a member in the international community.
STLE provides a way for you to connect with other people that have the same interests as you. It provides a way to interact with those people. And this interaction allows you to learn, allows you to get education, and allows you to get smarter. So by getting smarter, you've got more value to yourself. You're a smarter person. You've got more value to the company. The company benefits because they've got smarter employees. So I'd encourage all of you to participate in this STLE community.
STLE has over 700 member countries that lend support to this non-profit corporation. This year, the STLE presented a $20,000 scholarship bursary to the UWI Faculty of Engineering, while ArcelorMittal Point Lisas was presented with the Society's Company Award. Kimberly Calawan, News 4.
In other news, come Christmas this year, 2014, the Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Training will have a new home in Chaguanas. The move is said to be part of the decentralization of government services.
Construction of the Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Training headquarters commenced officially at lands located in the vicinity of the Diwali Nagar in Chaguanas. The new location is expected to be the umbrella home for all the agencies and tertiary training programs that fall under the ministry, such as YTEP, COSTAT, NTA, and MUST. Minister of Tertiary Education and Skills Training Fazil Karam anticipates that Phase 1 will see the movement of headquarters from the capital city Port of Spain to Chaguanas by Christmas this year.
We will be celebrating Christmas in this building. And I already told the permanent secretary, and we have 173 members of staff at the Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Training. Next to the waterfront tower, Tower C. I told them, book your date. The Christmas party will be held here in this building. We are not going to pay any rental anymore.
The project will be spearheaded by the National Training Agency. Chairman at the NTA, Kelvin Mahabir, says the new building will seek to widen and enhance the services offered by the ministry.
This new complex will allow us to continue nurturing a caring society through the life skills development and on-the-job training programs. It is an opportunity to facilitate competitiveness, invest in sound infrastructure and environment, promoting an innovative and effective workforce. With this new venture, the National Training Agency will continue to promote a seamless, self-renewing higher education system through a highly skilled, talented, and knowledgeable workforce that will stimulate innovation-driven growth and development.
Minister Karam says the ideal behind the construction of the building lies in the need to expand services to meet the needs and training required by a growing population.
Why do we want to be here? Why do we want another building? Is it that we are emptying Port of Spain as some will have us believe? Is it that we are moving things out of Port of Spain? Well, I say to all of you today, we are moving the services of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago closer to all the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. This is about moving government services nearer to the people.
Phase 1 will comprise of a 10-story structure and will house 173 office staff of the ministry. Kimram Kalawan, News 4.
News 4 continues right after the break. Stay with us. The battle for semi-final places in the TT Pro League's lucrative Lucozade Sport Gold Shield was contested over the weekend amongst 8 teams. Wayne Cunningham has the highlights.
Central FC looks the form team as knockout action resumed in the TT Pro League over the weekend. The Couva Sharks demolished former Caribbean Club champions Caledonia AIA 4-0 on Friday as quarterfinal action in the Lucozade Sport Gold Shield kicked off. Also winning on Friday was Point Fortin Civic FC. The league debutants defeated the Defence Force 4-3 on kicks from the penalty mark after a 1-1 regulation time draw. On Saturday, league leaders W Connection FC came up against San Juan Jabloteh for the right to face Point Fortin in the semi-finals. Connection jumped out to a 3-0 first half lead in the first 25 minutes of the match, then lost their scoring boots. Jabloteh pulled one back in the 75th minute through Kareem Smith as he followed up well on the Jean-Luc Rochford free kick. Smith reacting first to the parry from goalkeeper Aquila Sylvester with Christian Viveros and Michael Williams in attendance. But there was no coming back for the San Juan squad as W Connection held on for the win and a place in the semi-finals. In Game 2 on Saturday at the Atobolan, Northeast Stars met Police FC for the last semi-final berth. And the Stars took the lead in the second minute through Kieran Cummings. He doubled up in the 41st minute to make it 2-0 Northeast. Cummings taking out Jassima Ashes with a neat piece of skill and finishes well as his team takes the lead to the half-time. The Lawmen turned up the pressure in the second half and almost got some early help from Stars keeper Stephen Berkeley. Jamil Perry, just wide, with the acrobatic attempt. The Northeast defense was working overtime as the pressure from Richard Hurd's men was relentless. With Captain Trent Noel pulling the strings, police kept up the tempo, and that intense beat paid off in the 75th minute. Police FC. Jamil Perry looping his header over Berkeley to give his team some hope. But there will be no further scoring in the match as Northeast Stars held on for the 2-1 win and a place in the semi-finals versus Central FC. This will surely be a must-see encounter as the rivalry between coaches Angus Eve and Terry Fenwick is renewed. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
Thank you very much, Wayne. When we come back, we celebrate World Health Day. Stay with us. World Health Day is celebrated on April 7th annually, the anniversary of the founding of the World Health Organization in 1948. To mark this occasion, each year the WHO selects a theme to highlight a priority area of public health, as the day provides an opportunity for individuals in every community to get involved in activities that can lead to better health. The theme for World Health Day 2014 is Small Bites, Big Threats, with an emphasis on vector-borne diseases.
As World Health Day is celebrated throughout the globe, much focus is being placed on vector-borne diseases, the topic selected to be highlighted for the founding anniversary of the World Health Organization. According to the WHO, vectors are organisms that transmit pathogens and parasites from one infected person or animal to another. Vector-borne diseases are illnesses caused by these pathogens and parasites in human populations. They are most commonly found in tropical areas and places where access to safe drinking water and sanitization systems are problematic. The most deadly vector-borne disease is malaria, causing an estimated 660,000 deaths in 2010. Most of these were African children. However, the world's fastest growing vector-borne disease is dengue, with a 30-fold increase in disease incidence over the last 50 years. Globalization of trade and travel and environmental challenges such as climate change and urbanization are having an impact on transmission of vector-borne diseases and causing their appearance in countries where they were previously unknown. In this region of the world, the Caribbean Public Health Agency CARPHA is one of the leading organizations tasked with implementing measures to attain the approved objectives of the CCH, in particular communicable diseases. To observe World Health Day 2014, CARPHA launched a public information campaign to spread the word on vector-borne diseases. Speaking at its media conference, Dr. Karen Paulson Edwards, Senior Technical Officer, Vector-borne and Neglected Tropical Diseases at CARPHA, outlined some of the most common vector-borne diseases in this region.
Trinidad and Tobago was declared malaria-free in 1965, but between 1990 to 1991 and 94 to 1995, 2 small outbreaks occurred. Although these outbreaks were successfully dealt with, Trinidad and Tobago, like the rest of the Caribbean, can ill afford to deal with the re-establishment of malaria based on our ailing economies and the potential severe consequences of high levels of illness and death.
Dr. Paulson Edwards says since 2002, dengue has been responsible for over 100 deaths. She also made reference to its effects to a country's economy.
The public health and economic impact of dengue are gravely underestimated because of the limited availability of surveillance data and high levels of underreporting. However, based on the figures from the 1981 dengue outbreak in Cuba, in which 344,203 cases were reported, and a cost of approximately $103 million incurred to address the outbreak, we can safely say that an outbreak of this magnitude would cripple many of our economies, which are heavily dependent on tourism.
Dr. Paulson Edwards also revealed the newest vector-borne disease to hit the Caribbean region, the chikungunya.
If that were not enough, in December 2013, chikungunya, another vector-borne disease spread by the same Aedes aegypti mosquito, entered and became established in the Caribbean, with local transmission occurring on the island of St. Martin. Since then, the virus has spread to several Caribbean islands, and as at April 1, 2014, 3,112 confirmed or probable cases of chikungunya have been reported from 11 Caribbean territories.
There is no cure for dengue, malaria, or chikungunya. However, CARFA is reminding citizens that they can protect themselves by reducing exposure to mosquitoes by using insect repellent, wearing long sleeve shirts and long pants, as well as placing barriers to prevent mosquitoes from entering homes through doors and windows. The theme for World Health Day 2014 is Small Bites, Big Threats. Felicia Wilson, Mon News 4.
Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for joining us.